Molly, one student that comes to mind, many students come to mind when I think of you, but one is Heather Nelson, because she's told me that you have had a big impact on her life. And would you mind telling me a little bit about how you met her and what she's doing now and anything in between?
I'd love to. What I love about Heather is that she epitomizes to me the promise of what a faculty-student relationship can be. I think that most parents, when they send their student to college, or most students when they're walking across these sidewalks for the first time, envision that it's 16 weeks they're going to be with a faculty member. Heather and I have had a relationship for a quarter of a century. So we go back to some of my earliest days on this campus. And Heather stands out to me for two reasons. And the first is, I know when I came to college, both my parents have college degrees. 4 kids in our family, we all went to college. We have advanced degrees. We had resources. We had, role models. Heather came to college without those things. And if you look at her on paper, there's really not a reason to think that she'd be a success story. But she is, because she's resilient. She is absolutely unwilling to take the answer no. And I saw that in the classroom early on. And I loved her because she wasn't about the grade. She was focused on, how am I going to use this information to understand how to perform on the job? And you can see that as a faculty member. You see it in the questions that they ask. It was never, is this going to be on the test? It was, how do you think this would work in this setting? And I kind of became obsessed with her. Now, unfortunately for Heather, I wasn't in a position to help her. I was 3 years into the job. I didn't have a network of people like I do now, Luke Holland or somebody that I could call and open a door. And to be honest, our College of Business didn't have the services that we have now with our Career Center today to make that happen. So by all means, our relationship probably should have ended after that 16 weeks because there was nothing really to sustain it. But luckily for me, I was raised to think in different terms. And that ended up being just the beginning of our relationship. So over the years, I think Heather, after she got her own first job without any help from me, she has called me through every job change she's had, every promotion, through lateral moves, through switching banks, through switching industries, through moving to volunteer with different nonprofits. Envision 25 years of phone calls back and forth. And I think that's what I love about my job the most, that it didn't end when she walked out of our doors, but instead we've maintained an opportunity to stay in touch. She'll call and say, I have this chance to work with this person. What do you know of them? Does he mentor people? Does he encourage them? Do you think he is somebody that would help grow me in these areas? And I can answer honestly. And it works both ways. I've called her when opportunities come my way. We've served on boards together. She corralled a lot of my former students and endowed a scholarship in my name that supports Walton students today. And she's just a former student whose friendship I treasure.
Well, it's pretty amazing that in 25 years, she's gone from being a student, coming from a family without many means, to being able to endow a scholarship in your name. That's quite remarkable.
And I think it comes from her innate resilience. She took that resilience she had, her unwillingness to take the answer no, and she turned that to other people. I've seen her be resilient for other people in a way that I've learned from throughout these 25 years. I've seen her fight and argue and debate and demand for students that would not be here at the U of A if it weren't for her fighting for scholarships on their behalf. And she's just been a great person for me to learn from. And so to sit and think over my career, the chance for me to see these students and know that they're going to go out and change lives and change my life, I have the world's best job.
That is so encouraging. Now, what does she do now?
So, two things that I love about what she's doing now is she left the financial sector several years ago and she started a energy solutions company that is doing some really innovative work. And as a business professor, I should mention that it was a finalist for the Small Business Firm of the Year in the state of Arkansas a few months ago. But what I love about it is not just its business performance and how many people it's has on its payroll now and how many families it's supporting, but I love what it's actually doing to change the landscape in Arkansas. There's a recent article in Arkansas Business where it talks about Tom Jacobs' farm in DeWitt, Arkansas, that is now a solar farm supporting his agricultural business, and how that's changing the footprint of the work that he's doing. So her solar work is focusing on agriculture industry and also on low-income housing. So it's really having an impact on lives. In every discretionary moment she has, she is not going to exotic vacations. She's going to Haiti and working on with nonprofits there that serve orphans in the area. She just returned from a trip there, and where she took 1,200 pictures of a business there, of the workers, and cataloged their story so that she can create storytelling narratives that will help them sell their products better, all to go back to fund and support orphans in Haiti. So she is still, even in her spare time, being resilient on behalf of others.